Oh, Denken gonna die? I don't know. What's your money? Do you think Denken dies next season? Oh, so the reason why this bridge sucks is that there's a big-ass monster. Okay. Gotta fight the Digimon. Yo, Fern don't play. The pancakes, how can we say no? Fern was hyped for that, though. She's like, holy shit, pancakes? Frieren, don't fuck this up for us. Yeah, imagine being able to live for so long but not having the money to do anything that you want to do. So did we leave this guy with some money? Like, how did this... Yep. The way he's holding on to her. Most shows are afraid to have the final episode be we cross a bridge. We build a bridge. And that's its grand punchline. But Frieren's built different. Most shows don't got the balls to do what Frieren does for his directing. It's very simple at face value, but it's very elegant. Yo, what in God's name are they doing? I guess at a certain point you can't really predict or dodge if you're doing too much. Yo, we just orbital strike that thing's ass. So that specific area is so beautiful that even though they'd make so much money off it, it's better to preserve it as a visual thing. What do we need a vase for? Thank you. We need to start giving Frieren a fucking allowance. Don't you dare touch my boy next season. Those are some of the highlights. You want to catch a full live reaction out of these episodes, head on over to the Patreon. But we got a lot to talk about. Now, here's the thing. This episode was chock full of goodies, but in just a few short moments, they made Season 3, which has been confirmed for fall of next year, all the more interesting and frightening. Now, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out where my bet's landing. I don't know the split. I don't think it's 50-50. Not sure if it's even 60-40. But even if it's, say, a 70-30 split that Denken makes it out alive next season, the way they be hyping this up, this feels like a death episode. We had a transferring of memories. It is now up to you to do the barrier. And she's like, yeah, he wants to die, or he's planning to die. And I'm like, yeah, surely they're just fucking with me. But with the way they be hyping up the strongest of the goddamn demons, my boy has a look on his face like he's fine having to go out here. That is deeply worrisome. Could we be building into something so crazy that he doesn't make it? I think there's more of a possibility than I would like to believe. And that is deeply troubling. It feels like, on one hand, getting that immediate confirmation Season 3 is coming. Very exciting, right? But it's almost like it came at a cost, because now for a year and a half I have to be concerned, and my boy gonna make it out alive. And then eventually I'll forget that I'm concerned. And then they're gonna remind me at the very first episode of Season 3, and I'll be like, motherfucker, what are you guys doing to me? Either way, this is why we love Frieren, man. Most of Season 2 has been a slice of life adventure. They really focus more on the slice of life this time around, making us care and bond with characters, only to remind you this is why we don't want to care for characters in this show, because they might unexpectedly die or be thrown into life or death situations, motherfuckers. This is crazy. Now, we had two moments in this episode in terms of little adventures. One with this bridge that for 200 years, this man has been building. And Himmel, once again reminding us why he was absolutely the hero of this kingdom, left him enough money so that he would be able to do it, because the bridge would be important. Villages that didn't make it because they had nowhere to cross wouldn't have to suffer that again in the future. It's a very interesting journey, because it's almost like, man, one door closes, three more open. Initially, we have a character who wants to build this bridge, but, you know, has time on his side, can live hundreds of years, doesn't have the money to do it. Here comes a nice human who says, I got you the funds. He says, yeah, but you're gonna be dead before I got this built. That's fine. Frieren can collect. Such a nice thing. And then you get the fucking bridge built, and there's a goddamn pack of KFC birds causing a ruckus. Man can just never catch a break. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely understand. Like, look at, I forget how large the caverns are, but they're insanely tall. You can tell just from this image alone how it probably goes miles and miles and miles. Like, you would have to do insane turns. Like, how would an army get to you unless they can fly? They also confirm even in this episode that there's always such strong gusts of wind because of how high you are. So you can't even just like fly over. This bridge is a game changer. And the fact that a man just so selflessly wanted to do it, yes, out of regret because he feels like had he built this bridge sooner, maybe people would have lived. But still, such great storytelling, so simple storytelling. But this is what I love about season 2. Frieren has a lot of really funny moments, a lot of silly moments, and a lot of emotional moments. But I think the reason I really have enjoyed season 2 more than season 1, as someone who considers season 1 a 10 out of 10, is that I just felt like it got back to what initially hooked me in with this show and just allowed the slice of life to take over. There's definitely some highs, there was some action, of course, but man, thinking about a man who wants to build a bridge is more exciting than any action scene that I've seen from this show. Not because the action is underwhelming. The action in this episode was great. The animation was great. The previous arc where you fought multiple demons, animation and action, fantastic. I don't think anyone should talk shit about that because it was 10 out of 10. But dead ass watching her interact with this man and watching him shave fucking logs. And then when you finally see people working with him, it's emotional. It really is. Like, I'm so confused on how this bridge is going to last thousands of years. It really does just look like a normal ass wooden bridge. But you know what? There's bridges in our own world that have survived worse weather. Who knows? Either way, I fucking loved that. Deadass thing that was like my favorite part was just the concept of a bridge. And the fact too that when they have like dinner and shit, he talks about how like, hey, 200 years is a lot of time for a village to be rebuilt. Yes, he lost a village. Yes, he has regrets, but it doesn't mean he can't live anew. And it's exactly what Frieren's been doing herself. Yes, one journey ended. Yes, she has regrets about that journey, but now she has a new journey, and that matters too. I love how Frieren has grown as a character, how much more emotion she is showing. It's absolutely fantastic. And then with the second half of the episode, we had this crystal storyline. So there is a village in a very cold environment, but this cold environment comes at quite the benefit. While yes, you have to hunt some nasty monsters, but if you can mine these crystals, you can make a pretty nice penny. And there's a very specific point that was so beautiful in Himmel's journey that he's like, you know what? These types of views that make it all worth it, even if they mine this stuff up. And the fact that someone wanted a barrier, not so that they can mine these crystals specifically, it's so that people could enjoy the view. I don't know, man. It's just, in a world such as our own, in a world such as this, there's common things about ours and theirs, is that everything's about the profit. Everything's about just doing your job, not really thinking. No, sometimes just preserving beauty, taking in the scenery. You don't have to consider like, oh man, where are we going tomorrow? Who cares in the moment? When you have a view like this, fucking enjoy it. How many of us can truly say with a straight face that some days we like to just look at the sunset, no phones, and just say, you know what? Life is beautiful. Fuck, I don't remember the last time I just appreciated a sunset. You know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to fucking appreciate the sunset. I don't think anime has to teach you things. But man, when anime can slap you in the face and remind you the simple beauties of life, and then in return you want to experience the own beauties in your own world, that's why I like season 2 more. I can't explain it even more than that. Just such a wonderful fucking season. It was fantastic. I don't think I had a single fucking issue with it. The growth of Frieren, we've been 38 episodes, I think, because season 1 was 28 episodes, this was 10, so it should be 38 episodes. That's a good amount of episodes, but man, the subtle development points for Frieren's character is fantastic. Seeing the growing bonds between Fern and Stark. The fact that I can deadass believe they will eventually be a couple. Not because of weird shipping, but because they've naturally had chemistry and it feels like they're building into that. Wonderful show. Can be a weird fandom for sure, but the show be fantastic. Your thoughts down below though. Are you worried about Denken? No spoilers from source readers. I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of deaths in recent anime seasons. I am deeply concerned for Denken. I'm going to try to forget about it, though, until we get season 3. Thoughts down below. Drop a like, share, support, subscribe, ring that bell, and you know what, Patreon for live reactions to all these episodes and more. Like, hey, I love to give those video shoutouts to my patrons, because they make it all possible over here on YouTube. All right, so today we got Agus TR, Leaf Solman, Triton Lord, Bill, Rerun, Azop, Eds, Lunar, and Ben Lou. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You know, have a good one.